Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me. You have failed in your duties as vice president. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
Hey, welcome to Dino Reacts, the channel where we take ignorance to excellence. Now, you saw that previous clip. Do you think she really cares about the troops when the parents of when the Gold Star parents are telling you the truth to their face? Are you really gonna still go out there and think that she has the best of the country at heart? Or are you gonna cry racism? Are you gonna still go down the same rabbit hole of emotions thinking that women's rights, which nobody on the right is trying to take away, which calls to the criminalization of illegal immigrants, is a good thing on your end? No, it's wrong. Criminals should be prosecuted. Just go look at Colorado and what they're doing to the Venezuelans, what the Venezuelans are doing to the people in Colorado, and now you got the Hells Angels about to drive up there to handle things because the U.S. government won't do nothing? Now, come on. You really want that? Nah. But let's get into this clip I got today by Liberal Hive Mind, talking about the Gold Star members and their families and Donald Trump and his respect for our troops. So as always, let's get after it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So here we go again, another political miscalculation from the Kamala campaign. Once again, the Democrats pick a fight that they're in no position to win. Really, if you think about it, this seems to be a trend these days. With them trying to pick fights on the issue of inflation in the southern border, these are not your positions of strength, leftoids, and the people know your track record, and now we're seeing the exact same thing on the issue of Joe Biden's disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. After everything this administration has done, they want to lecture Trump on the issue of showing respect to military service members, and especially those 13 U.S. service members who lost their lives thanks to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's inaction and incompetence during that period back in 2021. Kamala Harris condemns Donald Trump for showing up at Arlington National Cemetery, and boy did it frickin' backfire, as nearly every single parent of those fallen service members comes out publicly with a vlog-style video essentially telling Kamala to kick frickin' rocks. This is one of the most legendary events in the news cycle I've ever covered, particularly within the framework of electoral politics. This has to be one of the biggest backfires ever. Let's have a conversation about it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape.
So check this out. I was literally talking to a friend of mine about this the other day, and she was trying to completely convince me that it was completely publicity stunt. And I'm like, no. And this is the one time where I don't believe it's a publicity stunt. These parents need to be recognized. It's been 3 years. And on the anniversary of the deaths of those soldiers, once again, crickets from the Biden-Harris government and also crickets from the Harris-Walz campaign. Nothing. Didn't say anything. Nothing on the media anywhere did they speak these 13 soldiers' names, give credence to their families, and once again, they didn't show up to put the wreath on their funerals, which is extremely sad. And she was just telling me, no, it's all the publicity stuff to get brownie points. I'm like, sometimes you got to stop thinking like that. There's a lot of things in politics that can drive us, for views or for clicks or try to get people to vote. But this is the one time they could have all stood in solidarity together. Biden, Harris, and Trump could have stood next to each other for the sake of the country. This is the one time where they could have actually done it. But she gets riffing off and saying that, well, if Trump really wanted to do it, he should have talked to Secret Service and really did it in private and nobody really had to see. I was like, are you out of your mind? Trump cannot sit, sleep, shit, eat, tweet, write, talk, speak without somebody having a problem with it. There's always somebody there So there's no way he cannot go out in public. The last time he went out in public, they shot him in the ear. So you do anything he does is going to be politicized, and some reason it's going to be made public. So there's nothing he can do about that. So there's no privacy in that. Maybe in her life she could have done it, but not in his. There's people watching his house, watching his door. They tried to take his property from him. All of his properties. Do you understand that? That's crazy. But this is the one moment in time where we could have stood together as Americans for Americans. And the left couldn't bring themselves to do it. Instead, what are they going to do? Attack Trump. Let's get after it.
All right, folks, so the backstory is actually quite simple. Donald Trump was invited to a memorial on the day commemorating these incredible patriots who sacrificed everything. He was actually invited by the parents. He then placed the wreath. And for the most part, I thought not much of it. I viewed it as a positive thing, frankly, as a beautiful moment. A former president showing up. And apparently the context that surrounded the event was that Donald Trump had showed up because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refused to do so.
Exactly.
I didn't think it was disrespectful. I thought, in fact, it was respectful. A former president connecting with the people and, frankly, supporting the people who deserve it the most. It was a good thing. It was a beautiful thing. But then, of course, the left does what the left does, and they turn it political.
And that's the whole thing. Kamala Harris said it herself. She said she was the last person in the room to make the decision to leave Afghanistan. So that means she is directly responsible for how that was, leaving billions of dollars of American equipment over there for them now to use against us and to use against the people in that region. We just gave them military equipment. Who knows what they're doing with it? Then on top of all that, Chinese took over that airport, which we should have still had. And if we were going to retreat, it would have been under conditions, which Trump said he gave them conditions that they did not meet. And he said if they did not meet those conditions, we ain't going nowhere. We would have sent more troops in there and held that thing down like America should have brought the rock stars, the big guns. You know what I mean? But instead, for political points, we evacuated like cowards. And right now, across the nation, we are completely looking like cowards. But the lefts don't care about that because they run a cowardly campaign. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer that anybody that can be coerced or forced to do anything against their will without having the ability to stand up for themselves are cowards. And the lefts are full of them. Look at Kamala Harris in her last CNN interview, had to bring her support animal. You know what I'm saying? Look at Tim Walz and his stolen valor, complete cowardice, ran away from his troops. They are completely the team of cowards. All that talk, but when it comes time for action, nothing. But look at us over here, standing strong, being real, taking care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Putting our stuff together, getting strong. I don't see that on their side. I see low testosterone and heavy soy.
Kamala Harris's staffers tweeted this. Yes, I refuse to believe that Kamala Harris writes her own tweets, just like I refuse to believe that she was able to pass the bar exam. As a vice president, I have had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It's a solemn place, a place where we come together to honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of this nation. It is not a place for politics. And yet, as we reported this week, Donald Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. Let me be clear, the former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt. How dare Donald Trump show up at Arlington National Cemetery? Are these people freaking serious? He's the former president of the United States. Pretty sure if he gets invited to Arlington National Cemetery, he can show up out of respect and it's not a political stunt. There's also no evidence that campaign videos were filmed there. I haven't seen a single one drop from the team. There's newscast video and individual cell phone recorded video showing Trump walking down the steps and paying his respects, but the idea that he turned the thing into a campaign event is totally ludicrous. It is a flat-out lie. Harris's claim that Donald Trump politicized his visit is a totally misplaced claim and hypocritical for several reasons. Presidential visits to Arlington National Cemetery are traditional and nonpartisan. What's the whole purpose of them? Well, the whole purpose is to honor fallen soldiers regardless of political affiliation.
Thank you.
These visits should be viewed as solemn duties. These are moments when we should be unifying. Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong, and the claim that he politicized this event is totally backwards. I'll tell you my perspective. I think Kamala Harris, by criticizing Trump's visit, attempting to wag her finger to create outrage where we should be seeing unity, I think that is politicizing the event. Yep. That's the only political act that I see here. In my view, her critique could be interpreted as an attempt to use a solemn moment to score cheap political points. I mean, just think about it. Her comments seem more focused on attacking Trump than actually honoring the sacrifice of these 13 U.S. service members.
Just think about that. That's crazy. And still, with the opportunity to mention the 13 fallen service members, in this tweet, she says nothing about those families, those soldiers. She still takes this as a time to attack Trump. That is so sad. Are Democrats so blinded by wanting to win this presidential race that they forgot their responsibility to the citizens and soldiers of this country? She cares. She gives no two cares. Her only care now is about attacking somebody, which is sad. That's blinders. That's emotional. Where's the rationale? Where's the logic in it? It's completely sad and disingenuous. It makes us look very weak. And all Donald Trump wants is to have America first. All those countries out there that we're trying to take care of that don't believe in our ideals, the globalist elite that completely don't believe in American sovereignty, he wants nothing to do with them. He wants us to take care of us. You know what I'm saying? Give you a small example. I had a little bout with drinking too much to the point where I ended up totaling my car, and I loved my car. You know what I'm saying? It really hurt me bad, man. But that was a moment, and that was a reckoning from God to tell me to sit down and look at myself. And it was a bad accident, but I walked out of that car unscathed. I still look at pictures of the accident and understand how I didn't get hurt, and I know that was nothing but the grace of God, because he had my back. So from that point on, I just started getting myself in shape. You know what I'm saying? This happened in February. Now I've taken the time. Look, my skin is cleared up. My body's getting stupid strong. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten deeper into my faith in God. I've always been a Christian, but now I'm walking as a Christian. I'm seeing life in a much clearer light, and I laid the bottle down, and I decided to face my fears inside and go within. And that's exactly what's happening to this country right now. We have an opportunity to go within, to fix ourselves from the inside. Stop worrying about other people's problems. Stop taking in other people's problems. We're doing that too much. We need to take care of our own. We all across the country right now, in all these sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, we have illegal immigrants taking up hospitals, schools, hotels. We're spending millions of our taxpayer dollars on people that are not putting any money into the system, that are literally taken out of the system. I see them up and down the streets in taco cars. That money ain't going towards the government. They ain't paying no taxes. That's coming out of us. But we see veterans and homeless all through the streets. We see people that cannot afford to live. We see rents steadily increasing and wages not increasing to meet those needs. But we're willing to take on another 20 million people illegally? We need to take care of ourselves, build our infrastructure, get our farmland out of the hands of Bill Gates and the Chinese. We need to make sure that we take care of our what I'm looking for. I'm saying our roots to get things, our truckers. They're trying to force our truckers to buy electric trucks when we got an industry. What are you going to do with all these trucks now? The whole Green New Deal is a Green New sham. They don't understand what they're doing. It's just another thing that they can get behind. And if we don't give it to them, they can say that we're the evil ones. But it's wrong. We got to put America first. We got to heal within. Because when you heal within, it shows without. You know what I'm saying? In the process of me clearing up myself, I started a YouTube channel. I've been so much more of a better leader at work. I'm a chef, by the way. And I've been really good to the people around me, showing more presence. That's because I went within first. I stopped worrying about all these outside influence and showing up to parties and clubs and bars or wherever for my friends. And I just said, go within and heal. And heal. And once I healed, I was able to be a better person to bring something out to the world. You know what I'm saying? And that's what America needs to do. And that's all Donald Trump is about. There's no racism involved. He's about all of us, for all of us. That's what this is, a heavy swing of so many different nationalities of American patriots that really want to see this man win. And I'm all for that. And to see these people continually attack him when he's doing a beautiful thing of showing love to these 13 servicemen and Gold Star family member families when they don't want to do it. It's nothing but crickets. It's really, really upsetting to me. It's childish. How can any American in their right mind not see this and understand that these people don't care about you? They only care about their handlers and whoever and the puppets that are behind their back and the money they can take from us. They don't care about putting money in our pocket. All these politicians, all their paychecks and all their money come from taking from us, and all Trump wants to do is give it back. First president ever to not take a presidential salary. That speaks volumes. But then they're still attacking this man. It's sad.
Who died under her watch. Maybe for a second she should have thought about those 13 U.S. service members. Maybe she should have thought about the family members and their will before launching this pathetic critique. And of course, that's the perfect segue. I'm using it as a segue because once again, another political miscalculation, because had Kamala Harris been thinking about the will and intent of those family members, she would have never released this tweet. The parents of those fallen service members are the ones who invited Trump. Maybe you should have thought about that before criticizing him, because now, well, this happened. As you see on screen, we got 8 videos, 8 individually recorded videos from the parents of those fallen soldiers, all essentially telling Kamala Harris to kick frickin' rocks. Holy frickin' moly, this is a moment of political history right here. And honestly, I'm going to take a step back from this conversation. I think I've said enough. What I'm going to do now is donate my platform to these 8 incredible voices so the parents themselves can set the record straight.
Now, as you can see, as the world, or not really the world, as the Kamala and Walt's campaign is trying to politicize Trump's visit to the Gold Star members and their families there at the cemetery, let's just take this time to bow our head in thanks and thank God for all the service members around the world that have taken the time to put their lives on the line for America's ideals and America's strengths. I know around the world right now we're looked at as a sham because we're running a banana republic currently. We're trying to imprison our political party members. We're going after American citizens. We're trying to force medications into our bodies. We are trying to definitely dampening the strength of family. We are killing off our next generation in the droves. Let's just give some thanks to those soldiers out there that are stationed all around the world who are under heavy fire because America's looking weak right now. And they don't feel as safe. And they're looking back at our country and realizing what's happening over here. So those servicemen that have taken the time to put their lives on the line, to wear that red, white, and blue flag on their shoulders, I want to say thank you. Now, let's hear from the service members, the families of the 13 service members that died in our evacuation of Afghanistan.
What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington. They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times, on numerous occasions, to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and to help us get some accountability from your administration.
My name is Coral Dulero. I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like when President Trump went and paid tribute and paid his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones buried in there. It was for all of our kids, and it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him, and it's not the first time that he actually meet with us and share time and with our families. After 3 years until now, Kamala Harris and President Biden didn't even say their 13 names. They called the withdrawal in Afghanistan a success, and for us it was just sadness and a disgrace.
Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me. You have failed in your duties as vice president. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. We invited him to be there. Groundwork was put into place by Congressman Ice's office to make sure we followed protocol. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call. The irony behind your post that you give a rat's ass about our military or our veterans, Jared's brothers and sisters in arms, the rest of the 12, their brothers and sisters in arms, is an outright lie. We're living proof of that. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui. You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service. Not once have you honored him by saying his name, so I said it for you. You have disparaged all 13 who have lost their lives as well as their families, exhibiting your lack of gratitude by your silence. I agree with you on one thing, that a person like you should never and will never stand behind the seal of presidency. You are a DEI vice president, and contrary to our kids, the worst that America has to offer.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day, and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. And President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover. Kamala, I want you to understand, and I know it will be difficult for you because you lack empathy and basic understanding. We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken. Let me be clear. There was no politics discussed, none whatsoever. There was also not an assault that we observed take place, or did we hear it? I don't know where this is coming from, but it's disgusting and gross.
Good afternoon. My name is Herman Lopez. I'm a Gold Star father. My son, Corporal Hunter Lopez, was a U.S. Marine killed in action on August 26, 2021. This message is intended for Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm not a person who usually takes to social media, but earlier today, your post regarding the incident at Arlington National Cemetery was brought to my attention. After reading it, it caused a reaction with me. You indicated in your post that you support the military and military families. I, for one, have not seen that support. It's been 3 years since my son was killed in action, and myself, my family, and other Gold Star families have not seen any support from you or your administration. You may make hollow promises about the economy or anything else you'd like to make promises about. But one thing that I ask of you, and the reason I'm making this message, is for you to stop making comments about your support for the military. As a Gold Star father, I know that you have not supported us. I know that you have not supported other Gold Star families.
Welcome to another Dino Reacts. If you like my content, like, comment, or subscribe. And as always, chef's kiss.